Hello and welcome to the vision and mission of Cultural Emergence session. Really looking forward to sharing this with you. So here is our vision statement for Cultural Emergence. The whole Cultural Emergence project is designed to accelerate global cultural transformation towards a peaceful, connected world, to bring us into humanitary and planetary alignment for a positive, regenerative future. So there's quite a lot in there, and I'm wondering, curious, how does it sound to you? And it might sound really exciting and encouraging and motivating, but it might sound to you really unrealistic or grandiose or intangible. And just observe that, whatever that is within you, and perhaps to also then notice how that feels in your body as well. Where do you notice it? What sensations are happening in your body? And does that resonate with you, with your thoughts as well? Sometimes our bodies and our thoughts go off in different directions. So to notice and just be aware, and not to judge it at all, but just to observe what's happening in your thoughts, what's happening in your heart, in your body, and to be aware when you hear a vision like this, what happens within you. And perhaps you're feeling really excited and motivated by this vision and this idea that we can make these cultural shifts towards this regenerative future, and that if we, the project, the whole kind of foundation of the project is the idea that we resolve and redefine our cultural priorities, our cultural norms and parameters, then that actually shifts what happens to us, how we interact with the world, with the planet, with the rest of life, with each other and with ourselves. And it's a big vision, but we know that with emergence, things can move really quickly and rapidly, and we don't know where the tipping points are for climate change and for the destruction, but we also don't know where the tipping points are for earth repair and for transformation and global transformation here. And so there's all the potential here is that things can shift really quickly and dramatically in a positive direction by using these tools and this toolkit. So here we're moving from this vision of like, how do we actually achieve that? And so our mission statement here is to create a profoundly effective toolkit to challenge and awaken, move and invigorate, nourish and empower individuals, groups, communities, and to bring us into a fertile state of cultural emergence. So with these, the challenge and awaken, move and invigorate, nourish and empower, they're phases of cultural emergence, which we'll talk more about in the next videos. And with this idea of individuals, groups, communities, and working out into the world, so we've got this humanitary alignment, and that is a made-up word by me, but all words in some ways are made up by someone in some time or another. So how the idea that when we move out, if we make an impact for ourselves, that ripples out. So if we imagine there's a pebble going into a pond and these ripples going outwards and outwards and outwards, and this idea, my friend Lucy came on the last course, and she shared with us this idea of this magic pebbles, that when we drop these pebbles into the pond, if we look at ourselves at the center and we make a change here, that this ripples out and we have this magic pebbles ripple out into the world. So this is what we're doing with the Cultural Emergence toolkit, is creating change, starting with ourselves as individuals and seeing that change rippling out. And the idea with the emergence is that we're looking at how we can effectively collaborate and connect with many movements, many networks, so that we're actually inviting wisdom, we're inviting emergent wisdom to come through by not trying to box it with one movement or one network that is across these different these different movements, and it's like this mycelium network connecting things up, and it's already connecting up ideas from permaculture, the work that reconnects, Eight Shields, of course, with John Young, and transition and time banks, and all of these different ways in which people are connecting up, looking for change. The toolkit can support them with whatever direction they're taking it in. And it's looking at how we can expand our positive impact in the world, and we can help the permaculture ethics grow. And so the permaculture ethics being earth care, people care, and fair share. So these are all things that we want to grow in the world. So that's the idea here. And we're looking at how we can make it really profoundly effective by bringing in other wisdom keepers. So already we've had wisdom from Starhawk and Maddie Harland and Delvin Solkinson, who have been collaborating with, as well as John and myself, to expand this toolkit and make it really effective. And with the toolkit, some of the tools you've seen before for sure, but it's like having this really well organized toolkit with instructions here and with adaptability, so you can make it what you want. You can make this toolkit what you want to make out in the world, and the tools interact with each other to bring about more effectiveness as well. So it's the idea with the cultural emergence is we're not being directive, saying you've got to make this or you've got to get to this place with our culture. It's saying, actually, if we're not being prescriptive here, but we know that if we come together and use these tools and adapt and use them and come from this place of connection to ourselves, to each other, to the more than human world, then we will come into this state of fertile cultural emergence. So we don't know where it will come, where it will go to. What we don't actually know what a regenerative future looks like. We know maybe elements of it, but we don't know as a whole what that could look like. But we know that if we put in our minds together and collaborate in a positive way, that it could be more regenerative and more beautiful and more abundant than we could even possibly imagine at the moment. So this is the big vision for cultural emergence, is that we come together to emerge a regenerative culture. So thank you for participating in our bigger vision as well.